Welcome to the Montreal podcast, episode 3.
3 is a lucky number.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
3 is lucky number, yeah. And welcome, Dan. And
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And we've known each other for quite some time, right? You've been on the video with me before.
Yeah, you invited me on your Eat with the Owner series. Oh God, it must have been
3-4 years.
Yeah, that was probably about 4 years ago.
Yeah. What have you been up to? Like you travel everywhere, right? The reason we are doing today because you get stuck, right? In Montreal.
Stuck in Montreal. Well, usually Montreal's not a bad place to be stuck.
Right.
Now it's been a very cold spring.
Yeah. May already. Today is May 6th.
May 6th. Time flies.
And very cold still.
Yeah. But, still, we got some green leaves starting to appear. So it's not a bad time to be here. But, I was telling you, I just got my passport renewed. So for the next 2 weeks or so, I'm without a passport. So I'm grounded. So it's like a mother without their baby. I lost my baby.
But why do you have to wait for 2 weeks to get a new passport? If they tell you ready, you just go there, give them the old one, and then you have the new one back, right?
If the Canadian government had some a little bit more common sense, it might work that way. But the way it works is when I apply for the new one, I need to show them my current one. And they take a hole punch and they punch through it.
Already.
And they put a stamp that says no longer valid. Like at the moment I apply for the new one.
That doesn't make sense.
So there will always be a time where you don't have one.
Okay. So sometimes if the process is longer, so probably you can end up without a passport for a month or 2.
Yeah. And if you have a trip, if you need it express, you can like pay some extra money to get it expedited. You get it really quickly. But you need travel plans that are booked already. So it's kind of a weird system because let's say you apply for it on like May 6th and you have a trip on May 10th. You need to show them the flight already booked and then hope that you get it in time.
You get that. Even you
and it's like, how can I book it for May 10th if I don't know if you're going to have it? So you need to have some crazy trust in the universe. Or more specifically, trust in the Canadian government, I guess. But I got my, it's a 10-year passport, so it's 2 weeks of suffering and then 10 years.
They're super efficient, right? I heard.
Yeah.
Super efficient they are.
I made a joke. There was a security guard working at the, the passport office. Yeah. And when I was leaving, I was like, see you in 10 years. Yeah. I thought he would laugh. He didn't even smile. He just stood there like stone faced. I'm like, come on, man. That was funny. I didn't say that, but I was like, all right, whatever. Some people don't like comedy.
Yeah. And also like you are kind of famous like travel blogger, right? The YouTuber, right? Call it.
Yeah.
And you travel everywhere. In the last year, 12 months, how many countries you have traveled to?
So as you say, I have a YouTube channel called The New Travel. And I've been doing that for almost 10 years now. And so in the last year, I took a 2-month trip through November, December, and a 2.5-month trip. Okay. And it was to Greece, Turkey, China, and Egypt, and then I had a short stop in Dubai. So 5 countries on that trip. Okay. That was a lot of fun. And then if we're talking about 12 months, I took a trip down to Miami. I took a trip to Mexico, and then I went walked across the Mexican border.
Jeez.
The Mexico-U.S. border.
Legally.
No comment. No, I lined up, it was me and, 5,000 Mexicans or Mexican Americans, some of them. Because
somebody visited there.
Yeah, like you can't really tell if someone's living in
Mexico
working in the U.S. or living in the U.S. and
the checkpoint always long wait. A lot of people, right?
Yeah, it's a long wait. Like, so there's 2 ways, because of course a lot of people are driving across, like a normal border. Most people are in cars, but San Diego and Tijuana are so close that I think a lot of people live in Tijuana and work in San Diego. So like every day they're crossing that border twice. So there's a lot of people like laborers and stuff like that.
So that sounds like Tijuana and marijuana. So it's kind of
Tijuana, marijuana. Yeah, there was a song. I wish I could sing it. Maybe I would get your video pulled off YouTube if I started singing a song. But yeah, there's a song about like loving Tijuana and marijuana. It's like a famous song.
That's but
Tijuana is a rough city. I'm not gonna lie. I love Mexico. I've been to Mexico many times.
But it's very so close to San Diego, right? So it's on the two sides of the border, they're very different.
So like you cross when you get through the Mexican border, like you're immediately in the U.S. and there's this little like public transit train, and then like in 20 minutes you're in downtown San Diego. So it's like very easy, very quick. First thing you see on the U.S. side is this McDonald's. It's like, all right, welcome to America. But yeah, they're close, and you know.
And when you see PFK, you know it's in Quebec.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Tijuana is because like it's the biggest city on the border. They get a lot of people from not just Mexico, but like all of Latin America who have made these huge journeys to make it to the US. So imagine if you live in Venezuela or something, and like you're a family or you're one person, I don't know, and you've taken this like month-long journey walking, taking buses, hitchhiking to get to the US because you think they're going to accept you as a refugee or whatever. And then you get to the border and you get denied. Or maybe you have to wait a year for some processing or something. Then a lot of people just end up in Tijuana, often homeless. So this city, like not only does it have its own like problems and crime and stuff, but it's become full of people who want to make it to the US and their dreams have failed. And they're like, well, now I guess I'll just live in Tijuana because I spent all my money on this journey.
I'm probably going to expand the city. Grow the city.
Yeah. It's you know, but again, like I said, a lot of love for Mexico. It's a beautiful country, but that place, it's a rough city. Yeah.
But the whole year you travel a lot of places. So how do you feel? Like every time you go there, you feel fatigue or when travel or like different time zones, everything like on plane?
I mean, the trip that I just took to China, like that was a lot. Because I was already in Turkey, and then it was like 14-hour flight, 15 hours to Beijing.
From Turkey?
Yeah.
Directly, not in Canada.
Yeah, direct flight, Istanbul to Beijing. That was a long one.
There's a direct flight? Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's the reason, like last week you stopped by, said like you kind of, I told you kind of congratulations, you're recognized because, you know, official organization, they organize you, pay, suppose they paid everything, right?
For the China trip. I got this.
That's a recognition.
Yeah, I got an email from, it was organized by like kind of the Chinese embassy in Canada. So it was to promote cultural exchange between Canada and China. Just like we're doing on this podcast right now. That's good.
It's not about me, you know. I have a YouTube channel. I have 600 subscribers on YouTube. You know.
But it was funny because I don't know if you remember, but Mark Carney went to China recently. Prime Minister of Canada.
You got the EVs or the.
He arrived the day our trip left.
Okay. Oh.
We were there. This was like I don't know.
March. February.
No, it was January. It was like February. End of January.
End of January,
And yeah, like we were there for this 6-day trip. And then Mark Carney was there for a few days. And actually, like when I was leaving on the way to the airport, one of my guides, she pointed out, she's like, see all those Canadian flags over there? That's for Mark Carney driving in. So and then they
it's not commercial flight. Is that commercial flight for the?
Oh, I don't know. No, I'm sure he wasn't in the same.
Business class
next
at least.
To the crying babies and stuff like I was.
Business class at least.
Yeah, but anyway, they negotiated some deal where it's like Canadians can go visa free.
Yeah.
They made it easier for Canadians to travel to China
For the whole year, yeah. For the
yeah,
whole year.
so I like to say, okay, Mark Carney finished the job, but we warmed them up.
Yeah.
My group,
Yeah. You did a good job there.
Yeah,
6 days.
we did half the job.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. I can definitely talk more about that if you want. But it was cool going to China for the first time.
That's amazing. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're an influencer on YouTube and then you get attention from embassy to see like, oh, you have enough influence, to present a.
I mean, I don't want to give the impression that my whole life is just like getting spoiled, like by nice hotels and talking to embassies and stuff, because. Again, like I was traveling for 2.5 months. And while I was in Turkey, I got reached out to. They were like, can you come on this trip? And I already was spending a lot of my own money on food and stuff.
How did they find you, though? How did they find you? Just by the ranking of numbers?
Someone had come across my YouTube channel, yeah.
Or maybe they have seen that you on my video, YouTube. Maybe they saw that video you were in.
Eat with the Owner.
Yeah, Eat with
episode
the
22 or whatever it was.
Maybe they came to eat here. They check out me, seeing my YouTube channel, saw you.
So you're saying I should have invited you?
Yeah, I was busy that time. No, I was busy.
You're always busy.
Yeah, very busy.
Podcasts and restaurants. That's your life.
Yeah, in March, beginning of March, like I guess 4th March, I went to China also. Yeah, when you were left, after you left.
It was a good trip.
Yeah. Mine was 11 days total. Yeah, very busy in the restaurant, so I cannot squeeze more time.
And how has China changed? Because like you haven't been back in a while, right?
7 years, exact 7 years.
Did it feel different for you?
Yeah. Every time it's different, but this time you can feel the impact of COVID, like the economy is not that as good as like pre-COVID. Like same thing Canada, right? Canada right now in Montreal, I'm in the restaurant business. I totally
same thing everywhere.
Yeah, same thing everywhere.
It's scary to say, but like it's when you travel, you get to see through like the illusion we tell ourselves. Because everywhere you go, like in Canada, people will be like, oh, and I'm not trying to get too political, but people will blame the leader. People will say, oh, Trudeau ruined this country and now our economy's bad. Well, guess what? In Turkey, they're saying the same thing. In China, they might not be saying it too loud because it's China, but like people will have their own problems and be like, oh, we handled this pandemic so poorly. But then you have to step back and realize, you know what? We have like right-wing governments, left-wing governments, everyone is suffering. So we can stop blaming and we can just start looking for a solution.
I guess the one thing, maybe the little bit big picture could be every government, every country spent like trillion or $500 billion like on the COVID thing, because that's the money wasted, right? Yeah. And then you have to get that money back. So it's kind of diluted to, that debt has to be paid somehow. You kind of, everybody wastes like $1 trillion or even more. The bigger you waste more, right? Because everybody was wearing masks, and what is that test, right? You do test you go everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So that's money, right? And it's just wasted, spent, right? All those money, it's a debt. It will come back to kind of years for those to pay back. Have the inflation, everything has to be, you have to make up those kind of the wasted money, but you have to do that money, right? You have to spend that money during the COVID.
I mean, I don't want to talk too much about that stuff, but I will say that I feel really bad for people who, like high schoolers who missed their high school graduation. Like people who, because I just remember like moments in my life, I'm in my 30s now, and like you get older and you realize like, oh, like there's certain moments you only get to live once. And people who miss those moments, they really had an important part of their life taken away for no fault of their own. And
that's crazy time.
Yeah, it sucks.
But when was the first time you started traveling to other country after the COVID? Then when people felt okay, easy, like you can travel, like you started blogging.
Well, it was weird because I, of course, run a YouTube channel, and Canada had very strict lockdowns. I don't know if you remember this. For a while, it was like if you left the country and came back, you would have to pay $2,000. They were fining people $2,000 for non-essential travel, and you would have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, that's the Canada arrival, that kind of app, right?
And of course, you would have to have like proof of vaccination, I believe, too, and to get tested. Like there were all these things, and it was kind of like unfair to travelers, in my opinion, because okay, like first of all, like COVID is already in Canada. Like they're afraid of us bringing in new cases. Well, it's already everywhere. Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're more dangerous to have traveled. And we're the ones getting tested. We're the ones who need proof of vaccination. Like the travelers actually needed the most. Whereas like average people could be walking around without a mask, just socializing with their friends in Canada. And that's more likely an issue than the travelers who are always required to have masks and all this stuff. So yeah, for me, it was like, it was definitely, I understand it in one sense because it was travelers who kind of started it.
Yes.
Like it felt like at the very beginning,
people movement.
Yeah, if no one had gone anywhere, it wouldn't have traveled across the world. Yeah. But it was like we were too slow at the beginning. At the beginning, everyone's like, what's happening? Oh, wait, it's in one country, it's in two, it's in three, it's in everywhere. And then a year later, we're like, we're going to blame the travelers. It's like, hey, man, like, where was that energy at the start? But yeah, to your point, so I stayed in Montreal for a while. That was actually when I started making neighborhood tour guides to Montreal. Okay. Because I had this creative energy. I had a lot of free time, like most people during that time. And I just started to really dig into Montreal. What can I make that's cool about this city? So I made a video in Verdun. I made one in NDG.
Point St. Charles.
Point St. Charles. That was a really nice one. But yeah, like I remember like, and this was probably like late 2021, and like still there were some, very few, but there were a couple comments being like, I don't know if you should be like going to other neighborhoods. You should stay in your neighborhood and isolate. So it's like, yo, like I'm just trying to make people smile with these videos during a tough time. But yeah, looking back, people were really like kind of losing their mind a bit. Yeah.
But yeah, when was the first country you visited though?
Mexico. Yeah, I took a trip to Mexico.
2020?
No, probably 2021.
2021 still a little bit, still a little bit sensitive that time. 2022 is...
Yeah, it was that winter, 2021. So like a year after a year.
Yeah, okay. So
and I went to this town outside Mexico City, and I rented a little house. I mean, it was a property, but like I had a little place and a few other people. And so, and the reason I did that was because I was like, if this stuff gets really bad again, I'm in nature.
Okay.
I can just like kind of like isolate here if I have to. But I really needed somewhere just to get out and to...
That's before the Omicron, right? Omicron, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, Omicron is that when the Omicron is everywhere, so then the people start getting relaxed because it's like very mild that time, Omicron. But it's very contagious. Like everybody get sore throat. Like I had the throat like for 3 days, 2 days, like really. Everybody like have pain in the throat. That's very like it's first time I feel very accurate. Whatever the news says, very accurate. They all say Omicron give you the painful throat.
Yeah.
It's everybody I know. They all have that thing is very, very accurate. That's crazy. But before the version before that is more severe. It's what they all have a name, come up with a code name, right? The one before I did not feel anything. Maybe I did not catch that one. But Omicron got me. But then just throat thing. But that's like but the people in your business, you travel everywhere. So that's why I want to know, like, what is the first time you feel like finally I can travel,
I don't remember.
So you're a soldier then. 2021 is very early.
Well, I had to because like it's my job. So I was unemployed. Like I'm fully YouTube is my job. So
exactly.
I needed to travel, and it was a bad, like I would say 2.5 years through 2021, 2022. Things were not normal, and people didn't want to watch travel videos because if they couldn't travel, there's no market.
So the 2
for
years,
that.
2020 the whole year, 2021, 2 years, 2 full years, right?
Yeah, it was rough.
Jeez.
Well, we made it too.
Yeah. the restaurant business are impacted, but I did not think like the travelers, they are impacted much more than us because we do deliveries.
Or it's funny because like a lot of YouTube actually blew up during that time. Like there's so many YouTubers who are like, yeah, like COVID was the best because everyone was at home watching YouTube. So like if you're like a video game channel or you're like a political channel or like commentary channel or like travel was just the one thing people are like, that makes me feel sad. I'm not going to watch that. So like we went down 90%. 90% of my income is just like crazy. Gone. So I was unemployed.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But have you
we made it too.
Yeah. But even now, do you want to do a little bit more like diversify to going to political, going to the, the.
I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. I mean, I've done videos talking about like what it's like being an English speaker in Montreal. I've done videos talking about
controversial. That's more than Trump, right? That's more damaging than talking about Trump. At one time, in your own like personal channel, you were talking about Trump, right? You made an episode about.
Oh, Trump. A couple times, yeah.
And also on the tariff on Canada, right?
Well, I think he's a very dangerous person, and when he started to talk about Canada being the 51st state. I felt like some kind of patriotic duty to speak up about that.
I heard, I watched those episodes. I think, damn, it's political now.
Because the thing is like...
And you can make a lot of views if you're more controversial, and then you can have, this is how people getting famous on YouTube. You kind of see a lot of political stuff. Like at least half people are gonna support you.
But don't you think it can also drive you crazy?
Yeah.
Because like I've seen some of the channels who I've watched, and I've seen podcasters who started out like just hanging out with their friends, and then they get more and more political. And I think COVID and Trump like broke a lot of people's brains.
Yeah. It's and also imagine I'm not in that business, but imagine if you publish something, but suddenly you get a lot of attentions.
Yeah.
That's gonna keep you trying more, right? Doing that kind of see, oh, finally I got a lot of attentions. If I talk about this, then you're gonna talk about the same thing more and more extreme, more like controversial, you're gonna get more attentions.
Oh, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to friends of mine.
Yeah, and then over some time you're gonna be totally political, and then you affect your own mindset. Maybe at the beginning you were very mild, and then when you talk about that thing more and more, probably you can see, oh, finally I realize the world is this bad.
Radicalization.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
You're not doing that, right? Stay away from French English debate.
Well, no, I'll talk. What you really should try to do is stay away from like the view counts and just not. Because like for example, today I just published a video. I just biked down to meet you for this interview. And the last thing I did before leaving is I published a video. So I would say like 4 or 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that. The first hour I would be watching, well, what's the first comment think?
Okay.
What's the view count compared to the other 5 videos? Like I would have been really obsessed with the analytics and telling myself that this is being a professional and this is treating my job serious. Like you tell yourself a story of I need to be doing this. But now I've realized that can actually drive you crazy. And it's not that I don't value my viewers and their comments, and I will check later and see what people think. But sometimes like if you're caring too much, it's like if you are like constantly waiting for someone to text you back and you're like, oh, what's it gonna say? Like you should just be living your life.
And wasting your computing power.
Exactly. Like you can just like use your brain to be creating things and living a fulfilling life. And if people like the videos or don't, like that's their choice. But if you just keep making stuff, you'll be all right. Some of those videos will do great. But yeah, I just try to like, I don't know, on some level, I just try to be an artist, and like an artist can't be
your editing
caring too much about
your editing is perfect. Your editing, like you still do your editing by yourself.
Yeah, I do everything.
You learn everything, but that's impressive. Like the one video, like I told you, like the old white guy living in China.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, that's amazing. The editing, the thing putting together is also driving the van, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I was filming this guy
Yeah,
as we were driving. I didn't know when I was filming it. I was like, maybe it's going to be really shaky and bad, but it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, audio, video, it's amazing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's professional.
Thanks. Yeah, that's an example of like the video you're referencing. It's this guy who he's like almost 80 years old, but he's a white guy who like sounds and looks like a British or Canadian guy, but he's born and raised in China. So he lived through like, you know, the Cultural Revolution, and like he saw.
But where did he get that British accent though?
From his parents, I imagine. Yeah. So his parents both lived in China and were like fluent in Mandarin, but probably they were born in, you know, the United Kingdom, and they had this British accent.
You have good at editing techniques. Like I always suspect you have a little young Jamie behind you, working for you. You know.
No, it's just me, man, and I appreciate that, because like sometimes I am self-conscious, because these days like I feel like there's so many like 16-year-old kids who are amazing editors. Like everyone is starting so young now.
I don't do any editing. I don't do any editing.
Okay, well,
it takes too much time. It's like I learned that very slowly. I don't want to spend time learning.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah. It takes a lot. Well, it's also just kind of weird watching yourself back. Like sometimes I would like to have an editor just because like, I don't know. It'd be kind of nice to just film something and be like, I'm done. But then you got to watch it like sometimes 2 or 3 more times just to like get it right. It's kind of weird just watching yourself. You're like, I'm a weird guy. Why do I look like that?
How did the people react to your French thing? English Anglos in living Anglophone living Montreal. How did the people react to that one?
You're talking about like I did a recent video kind of talking about
you were saying
or
like
a long time ago?
Like I saw at least 2. You were talking about like living in Montreal as a English speaking person, right?
Yeah.
Is any Quebecois people shouting, you need to be really spending time learning French, you know?
Well, I am.
But your French is good. The other day,
je parle français on la
the
video
other day
aussi.
you were like, I said I'm learning French, and then you said you're testing my French. I had no clue. Like what you were. Your French is very fast.
Mon ami québécois, je peux parler en français. C'est juste que j'avais un accent anglophone.
Crazy. That's pretty good. Your French is.
Yeah, I can have a conversations, but I was just saying I to my Quebecois friends, like I can speak French, but I have a pretty strong accent. Yeah. And I think like
that's amazing already. For me, that's like heaven level. If I can reach that level, I gonna laugh dying. You know, I'm gonna be really happy. That's my achievement of my life.
Well, you're doing better at me in Mandarin. All I got is 谢谢. And what's the other one? 你好.
你好. And the 不客气 is responding the
不客气.
Yeah, it's don't be so polite or something. Just the response to the 谢谢.
Okay.
Yeah.
谢谢不客气.
Yeah, it's like welcome.
Okay.
Like that kind of.
Welcome.
不客气 means don't be so polite. That means welcome.
Here I can teach you something in French. Do you know bienvenue?
Bienvenue. Yeah.
Is like a way of saying like you're welcome.
Yeah.
But like it literally means like welcome to the place.
It's the same. Bien.
Yeah.
Venu.
Yeah.
It's an English French that I come from the similar people, I guess, at the beginning. So they kind of a lot of things in the common, you know.
Yeah. Can hear some police sirens in the background. How's that? Always something in Montreal, huh?
But the French and the Chinese, they have similar stuff as well. The de, like a de, in French, like Chinese we have de as well. De means like something belongs to somebody. My cup, we use de, what de. But in French, coincidentally, they use de a lot, means like you know, somebody's stuff or something, right? They use de. A lot of de or from as well, right?
Do you think do Chinese people typically like do Chinese people respect French culture? Like I'm interested what reputation does France and French people have in China?
That's very positive. Very positive. Like it's always like because in China, like as a young student, you always try to learn a lot of foreign languages. The number one language always English, right? It's very
Yeah.
popular. But we always have very high place for French as
French,
the most beautiful language. Somehow
Yeah.
that's a reputation, maybe a lie or
Yeah.
maybe true, but always say French language is the most beautiful language.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. It's crazy as in China, it's always say French is the most beautiful language, but very difficult to learn.
What do you think about that? Do you agree?
Yeah, the flow, the rhythm, pretty good. The liaison is killing me like new learners. To like the liaison is crazy. That's why I keep listening to French podcasts to get the flow of that. To be really comfortable with French conversations. The liaison is like the listening. When you try to listen to French conversation, the liaison always throw you off.
So have you had guests here who only speak French?
No.
Customers?
Yes, some of them. But I can
Probably
take the order.
Probably they're more comfortable in French, but they can still speak a bit of English with you.
No, I can take order in French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I been on off learn by myself for 20 years, learning French for 20 years. The result doesn't show much, but but in the last year, more than half a year, I been stopped learning English. I told you, I only listen to French stuff now.
Je prends le buffet broccoli avec un wonton de soupe, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, broccoli. Buff au broccoli.
Cool.
General
It's hard, man. Like all joking aside, like I have a lot of respect for people who can learn languages, especially as an adult. It's hard.
This year, like I'm 46, 47, I feel very hard. Even I listen several hours of French podcast, I feel like it's just not registering, not hitting inside.
It's just tired,
bouncing off.
Your brain gets tired.
No, it's bouncing off. It's not get into my brain. I feel like unless if really I sit there doing nothing, probably I can feel okay. I can read most of them. Like if you give me a page of French text, I can read most of them.
So you know how everyone says like when you're a child or a teenager, your brain is still developing. So you're obviously like you're making new pathways and you're more conditioned to learning. I wonder if with the way how quickly technology is improving, can we actually? This might be stupid because like your brain is already done growing. But is there a way that we can like recondition our brains? So we can permanently live in that state of like, so it's as easy to learn a language at 55 as at 5. Like how cool would that be if we could make it like that?
I think for the old people like me or this age, like the memory is not as good as the young people, right?
Old people, this guy's gonna live to 136. What do you mean old person?
But also,
you have 90 more years.
Yeah. But also when I'm busy with restaurant business, my brain is preoccupied with a lot of other things. So it's already pretty busy. So I guess that's part of the reason. But when you are 10, you are thinking of playing this, an apple, playing with that, and then you have more free time. But for us, for me, the brain is already almost full. Every day I'm thinking about making money.
Podcast?
No.
Full of what?
How to make money. How to make sure the restaurant is okay. A lot of things worry, and I have young kids. And then you worry about this, worry about that. When you're old,
so your life is stressful.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm okay. But my wife.
What do you do when you are feeling too stressed? Do you have do you do something to de-stress?
For me, I have no time. Seriously, like most of the time, I just like let day go by, another day. But today
But I don't want to embarrass you, but like for example, some people who are stressed are always smoking cigarettes. Some people always drink. Some people drink coffee. Do you have drink coffee. Some little thing.
Actually, the best time of the day, I drink an extra large Tim Hortons.
The best time of the day.
Seriously, I look forward to that moment because like, I'm so busy. I'm busy. Like I finish at night 10 or something. This morning I got up like at 6 to send my daughter to the school bus.
Yeah.
And then
6?
Yeah, 6 something. The school bus pretty early.
Wow.
And then today, lucky day for me, I can sleep like almost 10 hours because after that I go back to sleep again. So that's the biggest rest.
Guess what time I woke up?
10?
12.
Yeah. So that's you look, glowing, people have the glow, you have, you feel
glow. It's called having no responsibilities and being a loser who does nothing but make YouTube videos. That's the glow.
My wife is more stressed.
No,
me more relaxing because even I work really hard. But as a mom, the Asian mom, Chinese mom, having a teenager, she's crazy. But she's a great mom. So she spent a lot of time driving her to ice rinks, skating, and worrying about school, worrying about you move up to a club. There's a skating club doing the synchro. The club doing the different ages. They have different group. So is the daughter qualifying for the next level? There's national level too, and it's like mommy always worrying. I told her, relax.
Nothing. Do you like to meditate or do anything like that?
I do nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I'm a tough guy. I'm really tough. I told you I torn my Achilles. My Achilles torn. Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. End of October, 6 months. I still limp a little bit. No surgery, but it's complete torn. Complete torn.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I was tired all the time. Even the people I met 1 or 2, 3 times, he saw me like, you look tired right before. The guy is, Jesus, it's a bad sign. He told me 2 times I saw the guy, he says, Fei Gang, you look really tired. 2 times in a week, he saw me, he said the same thing. The Sunday morning I'm playing soccer, I torn my Achilles because every day.
Okay, so you can still play soccer, you can still run?
I can, right now, I can
it's hard.
jog. It's more like it's more for my business. I don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, because if you got hurt and you couldn't stand up, that would. Yeah.
That time I was because every day I was so tired, and then but yourself you feel you can still go, right? So in the morning I play soccer, 30 minutes I can still play. So run, but your muscle, your body just give up. My muscle give up. Then if your muscle give up, and then the tendon inside just have no power, it's not strong, so just snapped. So that's right after that I learned that lesson. Now this morning I told you, right after I sent my daughter to school bus, I went back home, I slept till 11 o'clock. So today is a good rest because every day I count my sleep time. Even usually if I get up too early, and I have to make up 2 or 3 hours or 1 hour to get more sleep. Right after the incident, the injury, I'm more looking at my rest. At least I used to be much more tired than now. Now I'm okay. Even
you were more tired. Wow.
Yeah. Before was crazy. Now if things not get done, I wait a little bit.
But I want to push back on something you said when you said, I'm a tough guy, I don't meditate or something like that. I
never meditate.
I don't think I don't see that correlation. I don't think it's it's weak to meditate or to take care of yourself. I think that's toxic. It's toxic mentality.
It's the environment I grew up. I grew up in a poor village. When I remember 7, 6, boy, we had a headache. What do? We used a stick to bump my head, see. And it went away. The pain went away. It's like a physical pain, not inside, outside. The pain is on the skull. And
that explains why you're such a funny guy, all the headaches. Each of these sticks is actually from his childhood.
It's the environment I grew up. And when we had the stomach,
I have a headache. Let me
when we had a stomach ache, right? Sometimes maybe you ate too much, sometimes a bit bad food. And then what we did, we learned that from Kung Fu. You know the stand like that. The Jackie Chan or Jet Li, they do that.
Yeah, of course.
Stand we call the horse stand. Horse stand,
ready to fight. You mean ready?
Like do that, and then you push your chi into
What's chi? Like energy,
the spirit.
Okay.
It's supposed Legendary has it. Legendary said you can kill people. Yeah, you can kill people with the chi. You know the Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
right?
That's the chi. Yeah, that's the chi. In the Chinese martial art legend, those novel books, I bought it. If you master the chi, you can kill people 10 meters away with that chi, just like a laser.
You believe in chi?
Not anymore. You still like a boy.
You lost your chi. You lost your chi.
We practiced. And when I was 10, with my brothers, we were poor, right?
Wow.
And we used the plastic bags, or we wrap around, and also use a cloth. We put a sand inside. because we were watching the movie Shaolin Temple, like Jet Li first movie, the big movie from Jet Li. So we were carrying the weight on our calf. We were running, like we were practicing Kung Fu at that time. So that's why we never go to hospital. We never went to hospital.
Everybody loves Kung Fu fighting.
Yeah. Seriously, like the time we had a stomach.
So it made you strong.
Yeah. We just put the chi inside, and then the belly area. Like we try to move the chi around your body to conquer that pain, the unrest. You know, you have unrest.
So what do you think about like?
I'm a crazy guy.
No, we're all crazy in our own ways, aren't we? Are you a believer in like traditional medicines? Like, do you maintain an idea of like, okay, like science can fix some things, but like there's a lot of like ancient wisdom and stuff, right?
Chinese medicine, like before the COVID, right? Before the COVID, Chinese medicine is one of the few topics, one of the 3 topics or something, you can break your friendship with an old friend.
By talking about
it. Like, you know, the WeChat group.
Okay, we won't talk about it.
Among Chinese, for foreigners, it's fine. Okay. Because it's the national pride.
Because some people believe it and some don't. And it's
our pride, because always they fight between the Western medicine and the Chinese medicine. Which is better? Which is superior? You know, it's our national pride.
Okay.
So even the close friends, we have 3 kinds of close friends in Chinese culture. One is the classmates. Always, you always feel close. Whenever, how many years pass?
Old friends.
Yeah, old friends, classmates. As long as you are in the same class for a certain period of time, you always close in your whole life. Another is like what is that? In the army, the troops. Because your life depends on each other, right? Wow. That's the second kind. The third kind is you debate things together with women. The prostitutes, you visit prostitutes together, so you cover each other's crimes.
Okay,
those kind of, in our traditional wisdom, like when I grew up, we always learned that traditional wisdom. This kind of friendships lasting forever.
Learning, fighting, or
that's
having sex.
So that's you cover your bad stories, right?
Yeah.
So always bury the bad secrets. That's our traditional. So for this kind of close relationship, they can break that kind of relationship with the topic of Chinese medicine, traditional treatment.
Well, I don't want you to lose your old friends, so we can move to another topic if you want.
The other one is COVID.
Yes.
If 2002, 2022, 23, 24 even, if you have a big WeChat group, and if you bring up that topic, for some reason, always like one side, another side, then people kicking each other off, you know, out of the group. There's the administrator of that group has a function to kick somebody out.
I guess what I'm trying to learn from you, Fei Gang, is like
I have nothing to teach. No, go ahead, please.
How do I start a Chinese restaurant? No, just kidding. What I want to learn from you is like, you're talking about like you just had an injury. You're talking about how you're running this business in a country with 2 languages that you've had to learn, and you're talking about like being a father and all these different things. Do you think like just staying busy is part of your like secret to success? Like, do you feel like, okay, I'm overwhelmed, so how I'm going to get through this is I just don't stop. I just always go.
I think everybody is different, but mine is like, my mentality is like, I try my best, I don't care that much. You know, it's...
But those are like opposites, no?
No, I always...
Or they're the same?
I'm always...
Yin and the yang?
I'm always busy. I'm always trying my best. But the outcome, the results, I can accept everything. That's always my stuff. So I don't do medication. I don't set aside 5 minutes even to do not do anything. When I like cooking food or prepare food, I always have my Apple AirPods with the noise cancellation, the app to try to learn French or English before. So but then that make me like, it's a bad habit actually. So you're not focusing. So I don't have a lot of focus because like sometimes the sound come to my ears and I'm doing something. I used to like it to see like I do two things at the same time, but then that gave me the problem of like not focusing. You know, it could be double edged sword.
Multitasking.
Yeah, multitasking may not be very good, but I always do the multitasking.
Wow.
But I don't, the pressure, I don't feel that much.
Even right now, you have an AirPod. You're listening to French podcast during this podcast. Can you imagine?
Yeah, the AirPod is really good. The Apple one. That's the best product ever from Apple. Not the Apple Watch. The watch is not useful to me.
No Huawei.
Everything I use on Apple. I have been using Apple for a lot of years. The whole family is Apple family.
Tim Cook just stepped down.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna have a new CEO.
Tim Cook did a great job, I guess. But nobody's Steve Jobs, right? Only one Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have a lot of pressure. The pressure is always like, I don't know, because it's all like the background.
Yeah.
I grew up like very poor, did a lot of physical labor.
You think that helps to have that when you're young?
Yeah, even when the restaurant was really tough, I can do by myself. You know, I do a lot of hours myself. You know, it's not a big deal.
It's one of the things that I feel like a bit self-conscious about, I guess. Like, my job is not physical. Okay, when I'm traveling, I'm walking around. Okay, that's something. But
carry a bag of sand.
Yeah, like the most physical thing I do is just like carrying my suitcase up to like my bed at a hotel or something. Like
seriously, you can have the 2 bags of sand.
Oh, when I'm walking.
Yeah, okay. tied to your calf, and then you have 20 kilometers extra. Seriously, probably you get strong legs, and then one day
I'm already like stinky and jet lagged when I get off these 20-hour flights. Like if I start walking around with sand too, they're gonna arrest me. Like this guy's crazy.
Foundation, lay the foundation for Kung Fu master. One day you're gonna become a Kung Fu master. The foundation is very important. That's what Jackie Chan was taught from their masters. Always the foundation.
You ever seen Kill Bill?
Yeah. That crazy.
Tarantino.
Yeah, very crazy. I watched only once. The Lucy Liu was famous from that, right?
Oh,
the Asian.
She was so pretty.
Yeah. Hey, that's Lucy the thing. Liu. For our standard, a lot of people think she's okay. She's not pretty. But for the Westerners, like white people, she's so pretty. But for us, it's.
You're like, she's just an average like cashier in
Beijing. A little bit, yeah. No, she's like for our standard. Somehow, like we look at the Fan Bingbing or like the Zhang Ziyi or the Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger. That actually was very symmetrical. I
actually don't remember like exactly what Lucy Liu looks like, but she had really nice hair, right? She was like very like,
she's like,
and she was
like.
Or her face is like more Western. Is that what?
No, it's like a very kind of a thin eyes, but then like you can tell like she's like she's not looking bad, but she's not like in Chinese not standing out.
Yeah.
But like the Crouching Tiger thing, that actress like she is the most recognized, the most famous as a beauty.
It's another thing about traveling. There's a lot of beautiful beautiful people out there, man. Like I've traveled to places like Colombia, and you see like just you see there's women just working, as like I don't know, like hairdressers, or they're just working in shopping malls selling like phones and stuff. I'm like, you realize like you look the same as the front page models in America. Like you were just born in this life, but if you were born in some family in Los Angeles who decided to make you a model, like your whole life would be changed.
You bring your notepad saying, I'm a talent agent from Canada. I'm looking for them, give me a free haircut.
That's basically what the passport bros do. You heard about this?
What is that?
Passport bro, it's like it's a group that I don't identify with, to be clear, because I think it's kind of like morally, I don't know how I feel about
scam thing.
Well, there's like a lot of, I guess, men, mostly like Americans, but it could be Canadians or Europeans too. It's like they go to these poor countries where they think the women are really hot. Like they'll go to like the Philippines or Colombia or I don't know, maybe Mexico. I don't know where they go, but they'll go to these countries and it's like, so first of all, they think, and they're probably right, there's people who really want to go to America. So just the fact that they're like a white guy with an American passport, Like back home, basically they couldn't get women back home. If they're like overweight or something, or they're just not having good luck. Or some of them really don't like feminism, and they're like, oh, the women in my country, they all want like equal rights and stuff. I'll go to a village in the Philippines and find someone who will cook and clean for me and like never talk back. And they're like, oh, I'll just go somewhere. So they call it passport bros. A bunch of bros who are like using their passports to find love, I guess. Or I don't know if it's love exactly, but to find, you know, a partner. So yeah, I think it's like on the one, and this is a real thing, by the way, especially like in Colombia has a reputation for like people traveling there. And I would say like I met some of those guys there who were there specifically because they were like obsessed with Colombian women, or like prostitution is legal down there.
Oh.
So like when you go to like Medellin, which it's also pronounced Medellin. There's like two ways to say it.
That's a very cool name. I saw that in the episode. That pronunciation of the city name.
Medellin. It's so musical, right?
It's amazing. But like if you look at the word, you can never guess how to pronounce it.
Paisas. They call them Paisa. Paisa is the name of like someone from Medellin. That's what they call it. And so Paisas.
That's so very cool. That the sound of the city name.
Globally, like Colombian women are known for being attractive, I would say. And then like Paisas are known, that's what Colombians say, oh, the most beautiful people live there.
But they're good at dancing, like Shakira.
Yeah.
Most recognized.
But basically what I'm saying is like...
Everybody is Shakira.
if you're clearly a foreigner and you're walking through, like prostitutes will come up to you. They will be like, hey, papi, you want fun time, you know? And like that's like it's like there's actually a level of like forwardness and almost aggression sometimes that is like quite like if you're not looking for that, it's almost like a bit scary. It's like whoa, it's like you know how like women in our cultures have to deal with like catcalling, or like guys are usually more aggressive. When you go down there, it's kind of like whoa, like this is what it feels like to be approached sexually and be like no, I'm just trying to like see this church or something. No, that's not everywhere, but it's just an interesting experience.
For the passport guys, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, for them, they're in heaven because like they don't even have to look; they just walk down the street. Though I don't know if this is kind of a dark story. I can tell it if you want, but like,
don't worry, we can be dark.
Okay, well, let's go dark. So there's some. Basically, like for example, the U.S. government has warned people not to use dating apps in Colombia because like a lot of like. Probably like a dozen men have died, and like many more have been like drugged, and then they wake up like. So imagine this: you've like you're in Colombia and you have matched with you're like an American guy and you've matched with a Colombian.
Ah, this is a small thing for us.
And
so in Asia we have more than that.
And
in Southeast Asia, you end up missing an organ.
Yeah. So it's basically that, but like I don't know if people are actually losing organs, but it's like there's some drug, and I'm not even going to say the name. I don't even remember the name. It's like Ciladapine. I don't know, but like if you Google this, you'll find what I'm talking about, and it's like Colombian women will use this, and it doesn't make you pass out, but apparently it makes you like really agree to anything. For like the next 20, 30 minutes, she can literally be like, hey, let's get in that taxi with my friend. You'll be like, okay. And then they'll be like, let's go to the bank and go to your ATM. And you'll say, okay, give me your PIN card and take out $5,000. You'll be like, okay.
Jesus,
and then
that's a good drug.
When you wake up, when you realize what's happened, you'll be on like the side of the road and your shoes are gone and you don't know, you lost your phone, you lost your passport, you lost everything. And then you check your bank account and it's empty.
Wow, this drug could be popular here.
That's why I say it's a dark story. I almost don't want to talk about this.
That's crazy drug.
It's I guess like on the one hand, it's if someone who does want to go to Colombia like knows this.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy drug.
Yeah. So to be clear, I wasn't looking for any of this in Colombia, but I spent a month down there, and I met other travelers, I met friends, and there were a couple guys who were clearly like there for the parties and the women. And so I heard stories. Like I know someone this basically happened to.
Yeah, but in Asia, Asia, they're not looking for passwords. They're looking for your organs.
Yeah.
They just like you end up in a bus stop missing 3 organs.
Yeah. In fact, I was out drinking one night and met a Colombian woman, and I was practicing my Spanish. Yo hablo un poquito español, and it was kind of like a fun, like flirtatious night. And I got her contact, and she was messaging me after. But I was so scared of the stories I heard. I was like, it's not worth the risk of losing everything. So like, I don't know if this is real or not. So I'm like, I'm just not.
I think that's really a nice warning. Actually, that's a good warning. This drug exists there. That's good warning.
Yeah.
Because when you make that mistake, you don't recover. Sometimes.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like I've seen people on like Reddit or different websites talking about this situation. And like there is a lot of like blame, I would say. Like a lot of people are kind of like laughing at the men this happens to. And on the one hand, I understand it because it is like the passport bro stuff, and like it is kind of a creepy group of people for the most part. But I don't think that's everyone. You know what I mean? Like if I wasn't careful, it could have happened to me. Some people are just like, if there's a beautiful woman and she's into you, like it's very easy to like forget how to think. Exactly. It's easy to like, I'll get in the taxi with your friend, and then next thing you know, your life is kind of over. So I think some people it's happening to didn't do anything wrong, and I think it is a messed up situation.
But traveling so many places, that's a blessing. So you have a lot of experience seeing different lives. But at the end, you probably
talk to people. Like don't be afraid to talk to people because they'll tell you. Like every country has its own lesson you need to learn. And if you're there on your own and you're not talking to anyone, you might not hear stuff like this. But I'm always like...
But have you tried for one country or two? You can really... Because if you stay there only a few days, you don't know how people struggle there, right? Local people. Have you ever tried one country or two or city? You really like spend, let's say, 2 months or several months to see to really feel like how good is this city or how they organize, how people are living there. Sometimes the travel, they don't know how they live, right?
I lived a year in Mexico City. I lived for 3 months in a town in Costa Rica. I lived for 9 months in South Korea. I lived for 6 months in Paris.
Wow.
I lived for almost 6 months in Vietnam, mostly in Ho Chi Minh City.
But so then if you really know a lot of
I used to be a real traveler. Now I'm just...
But seriously, like if people like seeing different cultures, different countries, different how the city or the country organized, you probably can compare a little bit, Sometimes like you have so many things, so many pages in your head. So you see probably the Americans or the Canadians, their way of living a little bit easier for average people, right?
Yeah.
You can say that sometimes if you live.
Yeah, you can make some judgments. Yeah.
And then you like seeing how Argentina, the city Buenos Aires, how average people, how do they survive? How do they make a living? How if they want their kids to be successful, what they do, how much they have to do, what kind of stuff they have to do to make sure their kids have a good chance, So then you realize, then you're gonna go political, saying like, this kind of those countries, the way they are, the people from other places want to move to those countries. They may have something really nice.
I heard someone say that like someone was like, everyone who travels a lot becomes a right winger. And I think what they were saying is like you go to all these countries and you see like a lot of messed up stuff. Yeah. And you're like, oh God,
there must be reasons,
this is the level of poverty that exists out there. So we need to like close the borders and like keep our place safe from this. I don't agree with that. Actually, what I experienced is like kind of a bit the opposite. And I'm not naive to like, there are like, again, I just said I lived a year in Mexico City. Mexico is run by the cartel. The drug...
even average people can feel that? Or not on the newspaper?
The drug gangs in Mexico run that country to an extent that will not make sense to people who don't live there. They're more powerful than the military.
Jesus.
When their leader gets killed, they killed 20 cops in response. Like, it's a war. It's a real war that's going on between the drug cartels and like the government. And so they mostly like just let it happen. And they're mostly like, just don't kill too much of us. We won't kill too much of you. But it's a very intense thing. It's not like gangs in Montreal or something where like they're running from the cops. It's like, no, they're not afraid of the cops. They have their own like military almost. You know what I mean? And so there's certain parts of Mexico that are really affected by that. And those are the parts you need to be careful about. For example, Tijuana, anywhere on the border, because they want to bring a lot of drugs and stuff across the border. So border towns are generally sketchy.
So that means
But it's a huge country, and there's very safe places too.
But then if you want to have a really normal life or the family life, you're probably going to say, oh, probably if there's a little bit chance of this, probably move.
But what I was going to say about how I don't think it didn't make me like more right wing to travel. Because
Are you right or left?
I've met. Well, I'll just finish the story and then you can decide. But like, I've met a lot of cool everyday people. And I've had acts of extreme generosity and kindness. I actually just, like the trip I just took, I went to Turkey and Egypt. These are two Islamic countries. Istanbul is more, Turkey is officially not Islamic. They're officially like, we have no state religion. And like, Istanbul is kind of an exception because it's a very international place. But if you go to the east of Turkey, like, it's very, very traditional, how people dress, how people act. Like women and men do not hold hands in public. That's like, like not until you're married. Like it's very, very traditional place. And people there, even though I'm clearly not a Muslim and I'm clearly an outsider and like I don't even speak Turkish, people there were like, I would say half the meals I had in this town called Samliorfa, like they wouldn't let me pay. The shopkeepers would just be like, this is free. This tea is free. Here's a gift for your family. Like you're a guest in our home.
Jesus, that's nice.
Over and over and over, this was happening. And it's kind of overwhelming actually, because you know, like I have the money to travel here. I'm not rich, but compared to you, I actually am. Because like that, like you're charging $2 for the meal. I can pay this. It's okay. But you're not supposed to. Like it's kind of rude to force it. And I think Chinese culture might have something similar because like every time I'm here, like you've given me meals and I've tried to pay, you're like, no. You don't want to push past that. You have to accept it. You have to allow them to gift you this. And so traveling has taught me that like places and people that I might have had wrong ideas about, because like you hear a lot of things in the West about Islam is a threat, and they have these different ways of living that don't mix well with us, and there's all this fear these days. But then you go there and you get accepted and welcomed. And I feel like I have a duty to tell people about these experiences, to tell people, hey, maybe what you're hearing on Fox News isn't true. Maybe those people haven't been to their homes, but I have. So I'm not afraid of these people coming to my country. I just think we need to show some welcoming to them and they'll show it to us. And everyone can live together. It's hard. And we live in Montreal and we live in a city that has been seeing some rise in crime, and like there's problems. Like a multicultural society with people all around the world, you're gonna have people who are upset about what's happening in the Middle East. You're gonna have people, Ukrainians and Russians, who are like hate each other. You're gonna have all these things because everyone's here. But if we can just like try to leave that behind us and be like, hey, we have paradise. We have beautiful city. We have all the food you could ever want. The government will feed you if you don't have money for food. Like we can do this. And I think we have to remember that. And I think it's possible, but it's hard. So that's my politics. You can decide. I guess that's more of a left view, but that's how I feel.
No, but what also sometimes when you see different country, if you compare one country to another, but why one country is more advanced or developed than another? Like the people, it's
a big question.
I know, but sometimes you see like they're behind, like for the regular people, they're all very nice to each other. But somehow, when they have issues or like they have their own issues, right? So why this country has more big issues than the other one? So sometimes the big issues like affecting a lot of things, they kind of moving their people to try to immigrate to another country to live. That is so different, so many different countries. But only few countries, people, majority of the world, the population, they want to, if I have chance to give you the free pass, I want to go live there.
Yeah, we can't let everyone who would want to come to Canada in, or it will destroy our country, just based on pure numbers.
I mean, like, my question is maybe why those country or a lot of countries, they cannot run themselves very well. That's, it's they have smart people.
Yeah.
They have everything, resources, everything, the same thing. But somehow end up a lot of countries like Canada, United States, or Australia, those countries are people they're willing to sacrifice their generation for like immigrants to move to.
I think
when you travel a lot, you're seeing a lot of local how they live, probably you see, why it end up like this,
I think India is a very interesting example because first of all, I've been to India twice, so it's a country I can speak about
do you have to take the shots
from direct experience. For like what, like for like the jungle and stuff.
Yeah, for the jungle, the vaccine, or something.
I didn't take any shots for those trips.
Really,
not that I remember. Maybe like one hepatitis. The first trip was a long time ago. I don't remember, but like the point is, I think most Indians would agree with me. At least most Indian Canadians would agree with me that like, in some ways, India's government is like quite messed up. Now, I'm not like talking specifically about the leader or like anything. I don't know a lot about it, but just in terms of like efficiency and like some things just run so like, it's so annoying how poorly run some things are. Just like the process of buying a train ticket as a foreigner is crazy. They'll have like a website and like it'll be like foreign tickets can't be bought on the website. You need to go to the website office. Or sorry, you'll have to go to like the train station office.
Yes, yeah.
Then you'll go to the train station and you'll line up in this big lineup with all these people for like 30 minutes. You get to the front, you'll be like, oh, foreign tickets need to be bought in that office. And then you'll go to this office and there'll be like no one there. And they'll be like, the guy is on break for an hour.
Even recently.
Yeah, they'll be like, the guy is on break for an hour. So you'll sit there for an hour and then he'll get there and he'll be like, oh, foreign tickets are sold out for the day that you wanted. You'll have to get next week's train. Like that is like 2020, at least I was there like 3-4 years ago. That's very
recent. Yeah.
Those kind of situations is normal life. And it's not just foreigners. Like that example I used, foreign tickets, but like every Indian will have an example of like what I started by talking about was my passport renewal. I can't imagine how disorganized the process is in India. Like just in terms of like little things messing up everything, and then you get delayed by a month or something crazy happens. That also happens in Canada, like probably happens in China too. Everywhere has problems, but like in terms of the general, like it's like no adult is like just looking at this and being like, solve this, solve this, solve this. You don't have like someone in charge who's like really problem solving. But the weird thing is, there's a lot of really smart Indians, and like Silicon Valley is now full,
all the CEOs
full of Indians who are running big. Like I think Google's CEO is an Indian American, right? Like
Microsoft.
So this is not saying anything about Indians. You don't know how to solve problems, but for some reason, and some of it could be because these really smart, gifted people are like, yo, this country's messed up. I got to get out of here, and then they make it to the West. But leaving aside that, like in all seriousness, I want to say something nice about India, which is like, it's the kind of place that teaches you that,
or Zen,
relaxing. Like there's more to life than money, and efficiency, and some people might think this is like too spiritual or something to say, but there really are people there. I've looked them in the eye who are like penniless beggars essentially, or just like, like spiritual monks or whatever you want to call it, who are like living and just asking for money. And you look them in the eye and you're like, oh, that person knows the meaning of life. Like that old man with the beard, like he is actually okay. And there's a contentment to his existence, which is very, very rare to see, like someone who's like homeless in Montreal. It's usually like you're addicted to drugs, not all the time, but often.
A lot of,
or you're just, the energy is a deep unhappiness. To be clear, I'm not saying everyone who is homeless in India is happy or content, but I am saying that in general, like the idea there is not a like capitalist.
I saw one image very,
they have a very different way of perceiving the world.
The guy just sitting under a tree. There was a very famous guy in India. Sitting under the tree, his nail growing 1 to 1 meter, nail, never cut.
Wow.
And his worshipped by a lot of people.
Wow.
And it's happy just, and like worshipped like by a lot of local people.
Yeah.
And the guy just sitting on a tree. It's amazing.
It's like you were talking about like your life. Like if you just keep busy, and what you said something very smart. I'm trying to remember, but you said like you have to care, but also not care, right? You work hard.
I work really hard, but I don't care the outcome too much.
Exactly. I feel like that is something that, to give the example of India again, like people there, it's not like they aren't aware that they have 10 people living in a small apartment, and like there's people living in a huge house in America, and like they have internet, they're smart, they know what's going on, but they just don't focus on that. They're just focused on their lives. They're thinking about their cousin's like wedding, and you're just thinking about your life, and you're not thinking about, I wish I had more. Whereas in the West, in Canada, a lot of people are thinking about, I wish I had more. I wish I had more YouTube subscribers. I wish I had more customers for this restaurant. I wish I had more.
But actually, there's a little theory, like when you have more free time to think, you have more like allowance, have more stuff you want.
I felt that in my life, to be honest. Yeah, like right now, I'm not too busy, and maybe I should be busier. It can drive you a bit crazy.
When I was very young, we were really hard.
Yeah.
But people, when you are poor, you are happy a lot of times. When you're very poor, and then you were preoccupied, your whole energy was doing stuff you have to do. You don't worry about things. Just doing stuff, like busy. Like when I was a child, we were like that. We look back, like we will have nothing, but we were super happy. We kind of, one thing we achieved, the tiny thing, silly thing, but you feel really happy for a long time. And now we worry a lot.
You know what I've been doing recently? I've been going for really long walks.
Just 10 kilometers?
Yeah, like 10 kilometers, like around the plateau, like at least an hour, It's not, for some people, it's not very long. But for me, it's long because I used to be like, I'll just walk to the grocery store, and then anything longer, I'll do a bike ride. But recently, I've been doing these long walks, even when it's rainy and stuff, and I'm just with no destination, just walking just to walk. And I'll just kind of like look at people I'm passing and just look at the buildings like I'm a tourist, like I'm traveling, And I think that has really been a good habit to add to my life.
Because I think a lot, actually. Moving from China to here 20-some years ago. So like always think about big things, small things. I used to think about big things. I still think about the reason I asked you a question about different countries, how they organize. Why did you, like for me, I choose to live in Canada instead of in China, right?
Right.
Because I will think about how the country was run, how this, and then how much the chance for like average people like me, how do I, more chances, like the big thing. The thing I learned when I was not too old, the knowledge or something, the wisdom is like you always look at the big picture. Big things can impact more. The tiny trivial things, it's annoying or something, but it's not so important. So when I analyze something, so for this place or that country or another organization is run well or not.
Yeah.
So I always look at the big things, the fundamental things to see like maybe if people don't recognize the rule of law or like not agreeing with certain rules, even you are doing well here or there, but at the end, when big things happen, nobody is agreeing with nobody, and you only thing to have a solution is fight, by pure power. That's somehow like majority of people cannot agree on common sense. That could be big trouble.
It's true.
It's that kind of stuff I'm thinking. And also like I try to work harder to make more money, to get more things, but at the same time I'm contradicting myself. I want to be more relaxed. I want to, whatever, we die anyway, we die one day, you always have the contradicting like ideas of thinking, You
have to be happy with what you have now, right?
Exactly. It's called RQ. There's a very famous character in a book, a novel in China, like 100 years ago. There's the guy called RQ somehow. So he's always find a reason to be happy. Even he's mistreated by rich people. He was poor, so he maybe was slapped by somebody. He tripped, was beaten by a dog. He always find a reason to be happy. He said, maybe something there. So
first time I wore my watch in a while, I forgot to turn the beeps off.
That's good one, the old time thing.
Yeah.
I use always
Casio.
Apple. Always Apple.
It's been sitting in a drawer. I never wear it anymore, but I was like, you know what? For the Montreal podcast, I'll look my best. I'll wear the watch.
It's a good name.
But I forgot to turn the beep off.
It's a good name. I found that Montreal podcast is not used on the X, so I kind of hijacked it.
Wow.
It's a good name.
It's a good one. I wanted to reply to something you said. I don't know how much longer we're going to go. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab something from my coat here.
Seriously, why are we still very cold in May?
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's only 8 degrees, 9 degrees, single digit. What is that?
Don't do drugs, kids. It's like a nicotine replacement. Because I used to smoke, and now I'll just use these. It's just a little pouch. Yeah. So it's like the effect of a cigarette, but you don't have to smoke it.
Really? Oh, you still smoke?
Yeah. Well, this will seem like a random thing to do. And this is definitely not an ad for this product. It's actually like much better that people don't use nicotine, but
trust me, there's not so many people watching this, so that even the Samsung tried to make some advertisement, it won't make any difference.
You never know, man. That YouTube algorithm, you never know. But I will say that what you were saying before reminded me about like Buddhism in a sense, and like theories of attachment. It seems to me that there are some theories of Buddhism that are deeply true. Like the basic understanding of the world as being we're suffering because we're attached to things. It's like such a simple truth, but
always want something.
But we forget that so often in everyday life. That if you can stop being attached to outcomes, or in this case, like I had a little bit of a feeling of like, I mean, that's what addiction is. I haven't had that nicotine for a while. There's a little part of me that's like, oh, it'd be nice to have that. And then another part of me is thinking, but I should wait till the podcast is done. What am I going to go up and get it? That would be silly. But then I was like, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to use it as an example to talk about this attachment. Because if you are attached to, as you say, like, I need to make this much money for my business. On the one hand, it's good to have goals, I think, right? It seems like people who have set goals for themselves will be more likely to achieve them. And, the Google CEOs and stuff, every quarter they have goals. We're going to have this much profit. We're going to have this many new employees, like this. It's all numbers. But I don't know if those people are really happy until they retire, because they're always looking forward, and they're not able to just be like in the moment being like, this is good now. And I think when I'm talking about like a homeless person can have a look in their eye of like, I'm good. I think it's because they're not attached to anything anymore. They're truly living in a state of, I've mastered not needing a lot of food. I've mastered not needing a lot of money. I don't even need shoes. I'm just sitting here looking around, and hey, those leaves are nice. That sun feels nice. That person just smiled at me. That was nice. Like their needs are back to nature in a sense.
Probably they look at you. Those people like working for life, they're silly, they're looking for things. Actually, officially, I'm saying I'm not looking for Michelin stars. Stop bothering me, Michelin people. I want to tell them, stop coming to my restaurant to judge us. We don't want to be a Michelin star.
Isn't there a book isn't there an old Chinese, the Tao Te Ching or something?
Yeah, Tao is most popular. Taoism.
Isn't that kind of
Tao is Buddhism. Buddhism is from India, I believe. Tao is from us. Tao is from China.
But isn't there a similarity, like finding beauty in the little things? Is that also related to? Yeah,
we have those, like 2,000 years ago, the ancient Chinese people, they have crazy wisdom.
Yeah.
That time we called the 100 families, kind of all blooming.
You think we have less wisdom today?
People actually, to be honest, a lot of my people, because we used to be so poor, the Chinese people, that's why they're so eager to have more money. So the memory, the poverty memory, just make them like, at least generations, we have to, give you the, you are the victim of being poor. So then the money is so attractive now.
Yeah.
And only after a few generations, you more relaxing, saying, whatever, you know.
And that's the thing. Like I did say something like similar to this in a video once, and someone was like saying like, Dan, like you're being disrespectful. Like poverty is not something that you should think is cool, or like that's not, poverty sucks. Like you want to escape it. And I understand that point of view too. I'm not trying to be like some like privileged Canadian guy being like, oh, like people with nothing in India have it all figured out. Starvation is not cool. Not knowing how to feed your kids. These are not like goals to have in life. I'm just saying that like the opposite is also not true. And chasing money is a spiritual emptiness. And it's affecting our culture a lot. And that's one thing I've noticed a lot from traveling. Everywhere wants basic human needs. Every culture around the world like enjoys a big meal with friends, a sense of community, a feeling that like they're safe and they're not going to get robbed in the middle of the night. Everyone wants this. But once you have that, not everyone wants that big house with the Lamborghini.
Exactly.
Like they really don't care about that. And I think that they're better for that. I think the fact that we all want that, not everyone, but you know, a lot of people, like could drive through Westmount or something, see these big houses. They're like, what did they do to earn that? I work hard. I want that. But you don't need that. You don't even know if they're happy in there. Yeah. They could be miserable, and a lot of them are.
Actually, like 10 years ago, I wrote in a Chinese article thing, like blog thing in Chinese.
Oh, yeah?
In Chinese, I said like with abundance today in the industry era right now, everybody in Canada, you're not worried about being starved, right?
Yeah.
So everybody can be a philosopher. In the old time. The old time, 2,000 years ago, the philosopher we know today, the big names, because they were noble people. They were not worrying about their food. They
had time to think.
Yeah, exactly. They had time to think. Now you have the luxury. Everybody can be a philosopher, actually. You have, at least in Canada, you have the luxury of not being hungry.
Yeah.
So you can spend a lot of time doing a lot of researching in your own spiritual, can create a great philosopher, philosophy thing like, 1 + 1 = 7,
And sometimes thinking too much isn't good. Like just to give an example, like I'm single right now, and like dating these days is really hard. And
I don't recommend dating. Seriously. I'm married. I don't recommend marrying. Seriously, two people you are forced to live together, but you are so different, and you have different ideas, different attitude about a lot of things, and you are forced to live together. That's very cruel.
So just stay alone forever.
Stay alone, but
the grass is always greener, right?
A lot of good friends, actually. A lot of good friends, and because people are social, we are social animals, and you have a lot of friends. Guys, like male, female, a lot of friends you can talk to. You find always the people you can talk to. Some people you sit there, you talk 2 minutes, and you want to kill yourself, right? It's suffering a lot of times. But then if you want to find a good match of your whole life, and you stick together for like 50, 60, it's very, very, the odds is very small, very small, because people are so different.
There's an old joke about it's been proven that as men get older, they start to lose their hearing faster than women, and as women get older, their voices start to get a bit higher and harder to hear. So it's like, how do couples stay together for like 90 years? Well, they can't hear each other anymore. They're silent.
Seriously, that's the advice. Just if we have to have offsprings, like humanity have to survive, have kids a little bit, but stay away. People like before people stick together for survival. To survive for the whole family, to work, to grow the agriculture.
That's what I mean about like thinking too much. Like I think now, like we don't really, men and women don't need each other to at least here. We don't need each other the way we used to, and so it's easier to think about like the problems in the relationship and be like, well, that didn't feel 100% as good as it was when I was alone. So I'll just be alone.
Yeah.
And so everyone is like not willing to pay the cost of losing part of themselves.
Yeah. So you have to be mentally healthy, have to make sure you are sane, you are happy, you have, but for me, myself, I have to work hard. I want to do something.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm okay. Because I'm not looking for money, but I want to get things done. I want to do something to be able to, make myself happy to see at least I did something, and I can help people, help myself, get, otherwise I don't want to be empty, it's kind of sometimes if I'm too idle,
What do you do to help people?
Probably if I have more money, give me more money, then I have meet more people. Seriously, yeah. Get me more business, and then I have more resources to do things I really like. I have a lot of crazy ideas, good ideas to help people. I'm really organized person.
So if you had if you won the lottery, if you have $1 million tomorrow,
I fix the potholes in Montreal. Seriously, like you said, like the people in India, they did not want to fix the problem.
You should get them on the podcast. Have you seen these kids who are filling potholes?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, they're on like TikTok, just doing their own.
It's the same thing. It's less severe level, but Quebec and Montreal, the same thing. People on the top, they don't care much. They don't fix the problem. It's not difficult to fix. It's the quality of construction, how to track the projects, how to make sure you do that in time, and efficiency, quality. That's all. Not like rocket science, right? If you send a rocket to space now exploding, that's a little bit more difficult than fixing a road. Montreal the same level. Like you said, you mentioned in India, they cannot figure out how to buy a ticket for foreigners to buy a ticket. The same thing in Montreal. We've been seeing this problem for 30 years. Nobody figuring out. Nobody even pay attention to that. The regular people just complain a little bit, and the top people, they just, you guys talked for a few days, then you forget, and I'm still get my paychecks,
Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird how. Maybe I should wait for the phone to go on. No, we'll just roll with it. Like, your general idea of what you're bringing up is kind of uncomfortable to say. But yeah, like there are certain countries that are clearly like better at organizing certain things. Yeah. Or there's certain countries that have like every human is different. Right. So I feel like we've become very uncomfortable to talk about differences between ethnicities or like types of people around the world for obvious reasons. Because like if you talk too much about that,
offend people.
Yeah, and you don't want to generalize and say like, oh, this country can't do anything right, or this type of person isn't good at this, because there's always exceptions. Yeah. But like cultural things exist, like I don't know, like there's obviously things that like the average like guy like me, white guy who grew up in Canada, is not going to be as good at. And you can probably say that about any country in the world. But I think like instead of getting super defensive when people point that out, you can learn.
Yeah.
Right? You can learn about things. And I think like the weird thing is like the world history of like countries fighting and taking each other over and stuff is seen as a very brutal thing, which it was, of course, but it was also an exchange of ideas. Yeah. Like if we didn't have Genghis Khan like taking over Asia, or we didn't have these different empires, like these ideas would not have spread, these foods would not have spread, these people would not have met each other.
We are super lucky because today, in the last 50 years, people can travel to live in another country peacefully. I came to Canada in peace.
Yeah. We don't need the armies anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's super lucky. Like my generation, I was born in 79. Mm-hmm. I never thought I could have had the chance to live in another country when I was 20-something years old.
Wow.
Yes, super lucky.
Do you remember the first day you arrived here?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, before that, I traveled to other countries as well. Yeah. But then I find Montreal is most beautiful city in the whole world.
I would agree. It's
a
rivers, special place.
Yeah, rivers, forests, the little hills. Not the mountain. Mountain give you trouble. Hill make you beauty, right? Seriously. Yeah. If a huge mountain, like the transportation going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. But if you're little hills here or there, it's a hiking trail. It's for biking. It's for the small legs. how many lakes we have? Tens of thousands in Quebec, right? It's amazing. It's the most beautiful place. And
It's a great city.
Yeah. That's why, stuck here for like 20-some years, 21 years.
Stuck here.
It's amazing. And then finish this, and then what do you want? We eat together, right? Downstairs, eat something.
Sure, yeah, man.
Yeah,
I always enjoy our conversations.
Yeah, I will have my Tim Hortons. Every day I have a extra large Tim Horton double.
Nice.
It's amazing. That's my treat for my hard working of the whole day. Thank you.
You've earned it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, man. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's really a casual talk. That's what I'm looking for. Luckily, I'm super lucky to know you, and it's good friends.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be here, man. Like everyone,
last week you stopped by, showed up. It's done again.
Every time I'm in the area, I try to stop by. Like you would never ask me to say this, but I think Aunt Di's an amazing restaurant, and you brought something special to this place, and I felt that the first time I was here.
We are into the phase 2 now. I'm in full charge right now in the restaurant. We are in the phase 2. I'm beginning the phase 2 of the restaurant.
What's phase 2?
Phase 2 probably we have standard menu right now. Been running the menu for like 10 years. We're gonna have because to keep the efficiency of running operation, we don't want to add stuff to the menu. We will have a secret. Like a solution,
secret menu?
No, secret item once a while, like a certain day only one, but it's a salute to a classic, Chinese classic. One area, one dish, very classic, but because of difficult, don't want to reduce the efficiency, we only have this one for a few days.
You know what you should do? You should do like a special thing for like listeners of this.
Okay.
You could be like at the end. You could be like, if you use code.
Yeah, exactly. Give
something that like only people who listen to this at the end.
The hidden thing, secret thing. Yeah, probably can do that, because that's what I'm saying. Like we are in the phase 2. In the last 12 years, when I had the restaurant, the first 6 years I had a full-time IT job. Right, I was IT engineer, so I was running on the side. So the COVID, I'm running the show a little bit now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Now I'm feel like even it's not a very busy restaurant, but I have full control. I know
full control.
I know inside out, and then I can experiment new ideas to see.
Wow.
It's taking off. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Can't wait to see the takeoff.